Living from 1953 to 2014, Terry Adkins was an American interdisciplinary artist whose practice included sculpture, performance, video, and photography. His artworks were often inspired by, dedicated to, or referred to musicians or musical instruments. Specific installations and exhibitions were sometimes labeled recitals. Curator Stephanie Weissberg of the Pulitzer Arts Foundation tells us more about his fascinating work as she guides us through the retrospective exhibition celebrating the renowned artist, Terry Adkins.
Terry Adkins was raised in a musical household. He was particularly interested in jazz and improvisation from a young age. He was also very interested in history and often took inspiration from the sites that he traveled to and engaged with, and explored figures like American blues singer Bessie Smith, agriculturist George Washington Carver, and sociologist and activist W.E.B. Du Bois. Terry Adkins was an American artist who was born in 1953 and passed away in 2014. And he had a very prolific career in which he produced an innovative body of work that blended a number of media, including sculpture, sound, video, and performance. Some of it is well known and celebrated, and much of it hasn't been shown before or hasn't been seen for decades. Adkins engaged with found materials throughout much of his career, and he would often find objects on the sites that he traveled to for artist residencies throughout the country and really the world. And he would root his practice in the history of those materials. He engaged with a wide array of objects, from rooster feathers to radiators. Muffled drums is Adkins' largest ever produced work, and it's a towering stack of bass drums that he purchased. Each of these drums has its own individual history, but he's brought them together to create a single work that's dedicated to the history of American sociologist and activist W.E.B. Du Bois. The title itself is drawn from a New York Times article that described the 1917 silent protest parade in New York City, which was protesting conditions for African Americans in the country, and was actually incited in part by the 1917 East St. Louis riots of the same year. This exhibition brings together a number of objects that Adkins lived with and collected over the course of his life. One of the things we're most excited to produce is a wall of instruments. It's a recreation or a revisitation of an installation that Adkins produced in 1990, in which he hung a selection of musical instruments, many of the same instruments we've shown here, against a bright blue wall. And these objects were shown alongside a gallery dedicated to his own sculptural practice. So it's a great example of the ways that he was relating his own collection, the instruments that he lived with, to his sculptural practice. One of Adkins' most iconic works, titled The Last Trumpet, it's a work from 1995 that was dedicated to his father, and it's actually 4 instruments of Adkins' own inventions that he called the operaphones. And we're really proud to be able to work with members of Adkins' performance group, the Lone Wolf Recital Corps, to present live performances in which these instruments will be played by the original trumpeters who played them with Adkins.